stuff. So there's way too many that are bouncing off. So for each time you're doing this receive, it will be completely different because the ball will be bouncy one time, it will be smashed at you one time, it'll come lightly another, and each of those require different hands. So soft hands, tight hands to make the ball go with you. So you need to get a feel of what it's like to receive in motion all sorts of different passes that are coming to you and all sorts of variations on the receive. So the ball can come from this angle, from that angle. If you're a midfielder and you don't have anyone here, then you won't be doing this receive. You'll be open receive and running towards the net, getting your head up. But hopefully you have that information before you receive the ball and know which receive then is appropriate. Now, so there'll be a little bit of running in this one. National team trying to work on the crossover type movement and definitely the elongation, so getting to the back line. So what we're going to do is practice a little bit of that movement and make a pass back to what could be a midfielder here or a overlapping halfback. An attacker that's here at this vicinity that then works to get to the back line, and another one that then works to get to the spot. So we might actually have the crossover as a pass from here to there, whilst this person gets to the back line there, and this one gets to the centre spot area. So it'll be a pass down to this person on the back line, as close as you can get to the back line from here, and then a one-time knock into the person in the middle. So then the person in the middle can choose the type of goal shot they want to use according to the type of pass that comes at them from the back line. Does that make sense? Let's walk it through. Alright, so let's have someone out here. Izzy, why don't you head out of there? Who's that? Esther, why don't you start on the dot here? Might grab a couple of cones. So we might start with a little bit of a dribble through a cone here. So I'm gonna, as soon as I head off here, you're heading to the back line, you've seen some space, so I'm dribbling. There, I pass it back, and checking what else is going on. Then moving into here, so you're just gonna pass yours, and then just going to, if possible, one time knock it into me, and then I'm gonna shoot. So wherever possible, let's keep the one-time passing happening. Even for this person out here, if this one's there in enough time, but I'd be surprised. Thanks, Josh. But wherever possible, let's practice one time, including the goal shot. Might not be possible, but even if it's coming on your reverse, then have a go at it. Alright, so we may as well have like 3 or 4 people at each station and then the rest here. This morning is our goal shot choice. I say goal shot, but I should say goal shots, because as we saw yesterday in the video, there's a whole lot of different types of shots on the reverse. So we might go from close in to further away. So for close in, then you're better off with the scoop. That's what Megan Rivers do in the footage. So the staying on the ball and being able to lift it into the ball with the hook. Remember that one? It means you don't have to come off the ball. Be close, you can make a really quick shot, and you can actually get quite a bit of power just through the use of your arm. So you've got to make sure that you stay down the whole time. I think that's sometimes the trap. It's harder when you come up to then get back to the ball and find the ball again, rather than when you're on the ball the whole time and then just flicking it out. So it's a good quick shot in close, and it doesn't alert the keeper either to anything that's coming. So we might start with that one and then move on to the sweep. Or we might try and shovel them as well. But you can get a little bit more power with shoveling, but it is a little bit harder because you do come up off the ball and then you try and dig under. We might have a go anyway. Here, and sending it out that way or having it roll off the end of your stick there. Does that make sense? So that's why you're going to get right over it and be head over, left hand well and truly out there so that the plane to the ball is straight down. And this is a really good one because it's easily controllable, so much more accurate than a reverse stick Toma. You can tell it exactly where you want it to go, and also at what height, which is along the ground. So it's a good one when you've got a channel into the goal set up already and you've just got to finish. It's also a good one for when you change the line on the keeper. So when we spoke about the keeper not being able to pick up the reverse stick line as clearly as they can on your forestick. So if you're coming at the keeper and you're dragging across this way and you step to the outside line of the keeper, then being able to sweep it, knock it into the goal really quickly as well, but it's also accurate as well. So there's no need for power or extreme power when you've opened up a channel into the goal that you've just got to put it into when you're on your reverse. So does that make sense? The choice about when you would use that type of goal shot. So when you're having a one-on-one with the keeper, it's absolutely a good time to use it. When the ball is in the keeper's pads as well, so you know those ones where you get the keeper's here and the ball's there and there's no way through, so that quick back and out and change to this side to sweep it, because with one step you can get the ball quite wide and knock it in there. With this one, we're going to practice it along the back line, because the other way to open up the far side of the net is to get yourself off the back line, so to drag here and to open up the far side and sweep it into that opposite corner. So that's the level of accuracy you should have with this reverse stick sweep. So first of all, we're going to just take a couple of steps running here and then drag in here. So you've got to pretend that there's either the keeper actually coming or a defender coming in from this angle here, and that the space is in there. Alright, so even though the ball might be travelling in this direction, then you've got to get out and around it with your wrists to get it into the far corner. Alright, so don't forget you're using the inside edge of the stick, not the hook. If you hit the hook, it'll go off in all sorts of directions. But here, you can hit anywhere along here. Use your wrist then to get into the far sideboard. Alright, just give yourself a little bit of Alright, so the movement is here along the back line, off the back line, and sweeping it into the opposite corner. Jerk is important as well. You need this plane along here. It's good to use the back of the stick as a guide to what's on the ground as well. So it doesn't need to be much in here. And then you can see. If you've got a spot to go opposite post and keep it low, just make sure it goes in there. Not like what I've done.
Right, they shouldn't score any of these goals on this angle. They shouldn't score. Okay, good. Whoa! Hello, hello. Okay, good.
Ball, guys, not the back sweep.
That's exactly right. Watch the ball. They shouldn't be scoring any goals.
Alright, so as I said yesterday, I'm all about the whip, not about the back and forth. The back and forth is a sweep or a quick little goal shot. That's not what we're doing here. We're doing a Toma, which is whipping the stick around, getting the stick face flat, still aiming to connect with the ball here. Alright, so doing Toma, not Nancy stuff, not little close-in stuff. You're trying to hit this ball and hit it hard. Feet. So first of all, ball position, so you want the ball out in front, so just as you do on your flat stick, here, when you're getting into it, here, we'll do the same on your reverse. So you've got to have it out in front of you, alright? Right foot when you've got time to skip into it, so if I've come here and I've done my magic drag here, and I've got time, then I'm going to skip in and hit it off my right foot. If I'm being chased by a defender, and I've still got to keep running, then I might actually do it off my left. As I said yesterday, I'm all about the whip, not about the back and forth. The back and forth is a sweep or a quick little goal shot. That's not what we're doing here. We're doing a Toma, which is whipping the stick around, getting the stick face flat, still aiming to connect with the ball here. Alright, so doing Toma, not Nancy stuff, not little close-in stuff. You're trying to hit this ball and hit it hard. Feet. So first of all, ball position, so you want the ball out in front, so just as you do on your flat stick, here, when you're getting into it, here, we'll do the same on your reverse. So you've got to have it out in front of you, alright? Right foot when you've got time to skip into it, so if I've come here and I've done my magic drag here, and I've got time, then I'm going to skip in and hit it off my right foot. If I'm being chased by a defender and I've still got to keep running, then I might actually do it off my left. Bring it round, so you've got to come from back here so that you've got this plane happening here round so that you're not going to miss the ball. Because you're not coming from up here and down and chopping into it here. It's from around the back, so as you come through, you have to connect with the ball. So then the only way you're not going to connect with the ball is if you do all of this too high, or if you don't have your stick face straight up. So if your hook is here and you're trying to do this, the hook will hit the turf and then the stick will actually bounce over the ball. So you have to have your stick up here. You obviously can't have it too high this way. See, look at the stick. So you're aiming for the shaft. So the lower you have your wrist, then the more connection you have here. The more available stick you have to make a good connection with the ball. That makes sense? So you have to follow your left elbow up and get this shot going around. By the time you come back, so if you start like this, so once you come up off the balls, I'm doing here, my first point of call is to get this stick like this. Then when I come around, it's already there. You just bring your wrist back. Demonstration time. So here, I don't have to lift, not lift. The left foot is a little bit harder because it's harder to get down, but you can still be running at the same time. Full use of your wrists if you're busy doing this. So you can't, I want the back swing to be a whip, and if you have your hands apart, you can't do that. So for starters, your hands have to be together, and preferably together at the top of the circle. So there's no need to choke this one up. The ball's already out far enough ahead of you, and you want the full power of the full length of your stick at your disposal. So whip, full length, and hands together. Alright, for some of you there's a bit of, if you're in and under type players, that makes sense. So Maddie, for example, when she does her jinx and stuff, she's in and under like this, which is absolutely fine, which means then that you come in this way to come around, but you still got to actually come around. So for me, because I'm old school, I go up and around that way. So the other way is fine, you just got to make sure that when you come in and under, that you still go up and around. Alright, there's still a little bit of just here and this happening, rather than, see how far my left elbow goes? So just watch my left elbow. So from here, like if I'm doing that, stays in there. If I'm really whipping, then I'm getting out and around and really winding up to hit this ball really, really hard.